In just 4 days, the Charleston Parks Conservancy and the City of Charleston will rededicate the famous Colonial Lake to the public. In this special edition of Quintin's Close-Ups, I sit down with the Charleston Parks Conservancy Executive Director, Harry Lesesne. Well, Harry, it's so good to see you.
So good to see you.
I appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Oh, anytime. You know, we're sitting here at Colonial Lake. In just, I believe, 4 days from now, we'll have a rededication ceremony for this magnificent place. And I know that it was renovated by the Charleston Parks Conservancy and the City of Charleston Parks Department. And you actually said this too, it's a major milestone for the Parks Conservancy. Personally speaking, where are you emotionally?
Well, I think we're all exhausted. We're all really tired. As I walked over here to meet you, I walked past a group of our park angels who've been out here. Those handful that I just passed are among 275 people who at one time or another have been out in this park over the last going on 8 weeks now, creating these beautiful gardens. Some of those people maybe came once or twice, but a lot of them have been out here every day for every weekday for about the last 6 weeks. So we got some really great dedicated volunteers. And a project of this scale and scope and of this really intensive comprehensiveness is the work of a whole lot of different people. There are a lot of different partners that came together to make this happen, and we're really pleased and proud to be a part of it.
And I know that when I ran around the lake maybe a week ago, I obviously noticed the bushes and the trees, and I know that you guys have this sign here that usually says what you're planning today.
That's right.
So as we sit here right now, what are you guys planning today?
Well, we've got folks out. We're kind of tidying up. As I said, we've been out for the last 8 weeks putting in these gardens. We had a lot of rain over the last weekend, so we're trying to get things tidied up for the event on Saturday. We've got people putting in gardenias, camellias. I saw some rosemary going in, so a whole lot of different plants. And one of the wonderful things that we're working on at the Parks Conservancy is a new website. You'll be able to go to the Colonial Lake page. There'll be a different page for each one of our parks. But on that page, we'll have a complete plant list of all the plants in this park. So if you see a plant, you wonder what it is, you'd like to get your hands on it, we'll be able to tell you exactly what plant that is so that you can go to your local garden store and find it and put it in your own yard. Wow. And that's one of the things we see as sort of passing on knowledge about the horticulture of the Low Country.
You told the Post and Courier that the Parks Conservancy basically envisioned the Colonial Lake overhaul since it was formed in 2007. You also said that what we saw was a space that could really be spectacular. So what is the biggest thing that sticks out in your mind from 2007 to now?
Well, if you look around, there are a lot of things that are different. There's a lot of things that are the same. Obviously, this body of water is still here. It's in a beautiful neighborhood surrounded by beautiful homes. We got some large trees that we were able to incorporate in from the old park into the new design. But you see a lot of new things. You see this beautiful granite coping stone that frames the lake. All new walkways that are all at one grade, so there's no steps as you traverse the lake. So if you're running or pushing a baby carriage, you don't have to negotiate steps anymore. You see this beautiful seating wall along Rutledge Avenue that will provide seating to anyone. There will never be a time when there is not a seat in Colonial Lake because we've tripled the number of park benches, but also added the seat wall. But the thing that I think most people notice as they move through the park are the beautiful gardens that we've planted. And we have some really talented horticulturalists on our staff. Jim Martin is our programs director who designed the gardens here. He's got 30 years of experience in public horticulture. And each one of the areas of the park, each sort of corner or has a different theme. Some are more reminiscent of a traditional Charleston garden, say on the north end, and then on the southern end, the park is a little more of an homage to the Low Country landscape, say outside of the City of Charleston. So each area has a different character, but the thought is that there will be color in this park year round. So we love color in our parks, and we try to do that in all of our parks that we're involved in. Actually, is to have plants that flower at different times of the year to give color all year round, not just in the spring or the summer.
You also said this too. It is an iconic part of our city to give the public an even better park that people saw the need for. More than 200 years ago is pretty exciting. And I know that we won't be here for 200 years from now, but what do you expect Colonial Lake to look like in 20 years?
Well, in 20 years, I would expect that the basic structure of this park will probably be the same. But what you'll see over time, and we see this in all of our parks, parks are living landscapes, so they will change and grow. And the plants that we've planted over the last 8 weeks, some of them will mature, and the trees will be much taller and more fully and more flowering. But we might see areas where we say, what we planted here, it's time to change it up, maybe in 7 to 10 years. We kind of see these parks are on a 7 to 8 year cycle, and sometimes we need to go back in and reimagine what can be in a particular space. And that's what's so great about what we do, is these spaces are always evolving. People say, well, when is Colonial Lake going to be done? And I tell them, well, it's never going to be done, because we're always going to be working, we're always going to be trying to improve what we have, and we're always going to be trying to bring something new to the park so that people come back day after day, week after week, month after month, and they see something different that keeps their interest in our parks and keeps them coming back.
That is awesome. Well, Executive Director Harry Lesesne, thank you so much for your time.
You're so welcome. So I'm really pleased to be a part of your website.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.